Woe to thee that spoilest, and thou that was not spoiled, and dealest treacherously, and they that dwelt not treacherously with thee. When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled. And when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee. O Lord, be gracious unto us. We have waited for thee. Be thou their arm every morning, our salvation, also in the time of trouble. As the noise of the tumult, the people fled. At the lifting up of thyself, the nations were scattered, and your spoil shall be gathered like the gathering of the caterpillar. As the running to and fro of locusts shall he run upon them. The Lord is exalted, for he dwelleth on high. He hath filled Zion with judgment and righteousness, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and the strength of the salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. Behold, the valiant ones shall cry without, and the ambassadors of peace shall weep bitterly. The highways lay waste, the wayfaring man ceaseth. He that broken the covenant, he hath despised the cities, he regardeth no man. The earth mourns and languishes, Lebanon is ashamed and hewn down. Sharon is like a wilderness, and Bashan and Carmel shake off their fruits. Now will I arise, saith the Lord. Now will I be exalted. Now will I lift up myself. Ye shall conceive chaff, ye shall bring forth stubble. Your breath as fire shall devour you, and the people shall be as the burnings of lime, as thorns cut up shall ye be burned in the fire. Hear ye that are far off what I have done, ye that are near acknowledge my might. The sinners in Zion are afraid, the fearfulness has surprised the hypocrites. Who among us shall dwell with the devouring fire? Who among us shall dwell with the everlasting burnings? He that walketh righteously and speaketh right uprightly, he that despiseth the gain of oppressions, that shaketh his hands from holding of bribes, that stoppeth his ears from hearing of blood, and shutteth his eyes from seeing evil. He shall dwell on high. His place of defense shall be the munitions of rocks. Bread shall be given him. His water shall be sure. Thine eyes shall see the king in his beauty. They shall behold the land is very far off. Thine heart shall meditate terror. Where is the scribe? Where is the receiver? Where is he that counted the towers? Verse 19. Thou can see a fierce people, a people of a deeper speech than thou can conceive, of a stammering lip that thou cannot understand. Look upon Zion, the city of Solomonites, rather. Thine eyes shall see Jerusalem, a quiet habitation. The tabernacle shall not be taken down. Not one of the stakes thereof shall ever be removed, neither shall any of the cords thereof be broken. But there the glorious Lord will be unto us a place of broad rivers and streams, wherein shall no galley with oars, neither shall gallant ship pass thereby. For the Lord is our just, the Lord is our lawgiver, the Lord is our king. He will save us. Thy tacklings are loose, they shall not well strengthen their masts, they could not spread the sail. Then is the prey of the great spoil divided, the lame take the prey. The inhabitant shall not say, I am sick. The people that dwell therein shall be forgiven their iniquity. Isaiah 34:1. Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people, let the earth hear, that all that is therein, the world and all things that come forth of it. For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He utterly destroyed them, for he hath delivered them to slaughter. Their slain all shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood. And all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heaven shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down, as a leaf falleth from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, and upon the people of my curse to judgment. The sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of kidneys of rams. For the Lord has a sacrifice in Bozrah, a great slaughter in the land of Idumea, and the unicorn shall come down with them, and the bullocks with the bulls, and their land shall be soaked with blood, and their dust made fat with fatness. For it is the day of the Lord's vengeance, and the year of the recompenses for the controversy of Zion. Verse 9. And the streams thereof shall be turned into pitch, and the dust thereof into brimstone, and the land thereof shall become burning pitch. And it shall not be quenched by day nor by night. The smoke thereof shall go up forever and ever, from generation to generation. It shall lie waste. None shall pass through it forever and ever, but the cormorant and the bittern shall possess it. The owl also and the raven shall dwell in it. He shall stretch out upon it the line of confusion and the stones of emptiness. They shall call the nobles thereof to the kingdom, but none shall be there. And all the princes shall be nothing, and the thorns shall come up in her palaces, nettles and brambles in the fortresses thereof. And it shall be an habitation of dragons and a court for owls. The wild beasts of the desert also meet with the wild beasts of the island, and the satyr shall cry to his fellow, and the screech owl also shall rest there and find for herself a place of rest. There shall the great owl make her nest, and lay and hatch, and gather under her shadow. There shall the vultures also be gathered, every one with a mate. Seek ye out the book of the Lord and read. No one of these shall fail. None shall want her mate. For my mouth has commanded, in his spirit it hath gathered them. And he that has cast a lot for them, in his hand hath divided it unto them by line. They shall possess it forever, from generation to generation, and they shall dwell therein. Isaiah chapter 35, verse 1, the wilderness and the solitary place shall be glad for them, and the desert shall rejoice and the blossom as a rose. It shall blossom abundantly and rejoice, even with joy and singing. The glory of Lebanon shall be given unto it, the excellency of Carmel and Sharon. They shall see the glory of the Lord and the excellency of our God. Strengthen ye the weak hands and confirm the feeble knees. Say to them that are of a fearful heart, be strong, fear not. Behold, your God will come with vengeance, even God with a recompense. He will come and save you. Then the eyes of the blind shall be opened, and the ears of the deaf shall be unstopped. Then the lame shall leap as an hart, and the tongue of the dumb sing. For in the wilderness shall waters break out, and streams in the desert. And the parched ground shall become a pool, and the thirsty land springs of water. And the habitation of dragons where each lay shall be grass with reeds and rushes. And a highway shall be there in the way, and it shall be called the way of holiness. The unclean shall not pass over it, but it shall be for those wayfaring men. Though fools shall not err therein. No lion shall be there, nor even any ravenous beast shall go up thereon. It shall not be found there, but the redeemed shall walk there. Verse 10, and the ransom of the Lord shall return and come to Zion with songs and everlasting joy upon their heads. They shall obtain joy and gladness, and sorrow and sighing shall flee away. Isaiah 36 and 1. Now it came to pass in the 14th year of King Hezekiah that Sennacherib, king of Assyria, came up against the defense cities of Jerusalem and took them. And the king of Assyria sent Rabshakeh from Lachish to Jerusalem unto Hezekiah with a great army. And he stood up by the conduit of the upper pool in the highway of the fuller's field. Then came forth unto him Eliakim, Hilkiah's son, which was over the house, and Shebna the scribe, and Joah, Asaph's son, the recorder. And Rabshakeh said unto them, say ye now to Hezekiah, thus saith the great king, the king of Assyria, what confidence is this wherein thou trustest? I say, sayest thou, but they are but vain words. I have counsel and strength for war. Now in whom dost thou trust that thou rebellest against me? Lo, thou that trusteth in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt. Wherefore if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh the king of Egypt, all that trust in him. But if thou say unto me, we trust in the Lord our God, is it not he whose high places and whose altars Hezekiah hath taken away, and said to Judah and Jerusalem, ye shall worship before this altar? Now therefore give pledges, I pray thee, to my master, the king of Assyria, and I will give thee 2,000 horses, if thou be able thy part to set riders upon them. Verse 9. And I'm now come up with the Lord against this land to destroy it. The Lord said unto me, go up against this land and destroy it. Then said Eliakim and Shebna and Joah unto Rabshakeh, speak, I pray thee, unto thy servants in the Syrian language, for we understand it, and speak not to us in the Jews' language, in the ears of the people that are on the wall. But Rabshakeh said, hath my master sent me to thy master to speak thee these words? Hath he not sent me to the men that sit upon the wall, that they may eat their own dung and drink their own piss with you? Oh, my Lord. Then Rabshakeh stood and cried with a loud voice in the Jews' language and said, hear ye the words of the great king, the king of Assyria. Thus saith the king, let not Hezekiah deceive you, for he shall not deliver you. Neither let Hezekiah make you trust in the Lord, saying, the Lord will deliver us. This city shall not be delivered into the hand of the king of Syria. Hearken not unto Hezekiah. For thus saith the king of Assyria, make an agreement with me by present, and come out to me, and eat ye every one his own vine, and every one his own fig tree, and drink ye every one the waters of his own cistern. Verse 17, until I come, take away to you the land like your land, a land of corn and wine, and a land of bread and vineyards. Beware lest Hezekiah persuade you, saying, the Lord will deliver us. Hath any of the gods of the nations delivered his land out of the hand of the king of Assyria? Where are the gods of Hamath and Arphad? Where are the gods of Sepharvaim? Have they delivered Samaria out of my hand? Who are they among all the gods of these lands that have delivered their land out of my hand, that the Lord should deliver Jerusalem out of my hand? But they held their peace and answered him not a word, for the king's commandment was saying, answer him not. Then came Eliakim, the son of Hilkiah, that was over the household, and Shebna the scribe, and Joah, the son of Asaph, the recorder, to Hezekiah with their clothes rent, and told him the words of Rabshakeh. Isaiah chapter 37, verse 1. And it came to pass when Hezekiah heard it, that he rent his clothes and covered himself with sackcloth and went into the house of the Lord. And he sent Eliakim, who was over the household, and Shebna the scribe, and the elders of the priests covered with sackcloth, unto Isaiah the prophet, the son of Amos. And they said unto him, thus saith Hezekiah, this is a day of trouble and of rebuke and of blasphemy, for the children are come to birth, and there's not strength to bring forth. It may be that the Lord thy God will hear the words of Rabshakeh, whom the king of Assyria, his master, has sent to reproach the living God, and he will reprove the words which the Lord thy God hath heard. Wherefore lift up thy prayer for the remnant that is left. So the servants of King Hezekiah came to Isaiah, and Isaiah said unto them, thus shall ye say unto your master, thus saith the Lord, be not afraid of the words that thou hast heard, wherewith the servants of the king of Assyria has blasphemed me. Behold, I will send a blast upon him, and he shall hear a rumor and return to his own land, and I will cause him to fall by the sword in his own land. So Rabshakeh returned and found the king of Assyria warring against Libnah, for he had heard that he was departed from Lachish. Verse 9. And he heard say concerning Tirhakah, king of Ethiopia, he's come forth to make war with thee. And when he heard it, he sent messengers to Hezekiah, saying, thus shall ye speak to Hezekiah, king of Judah, saying, let not thy God in whom thou trustest deceive thee, saying, Jerusalem shall not be given into the hand of the king of Assyria. Behold, thou hast heard the words of what king of Assyria hath done to all the lands by destroying them utterly. And shalt thou be delivered? Have the gods of the nations delivered them, which my fathers have destroyed at Gozan and Hara and Rizeph, and the children of Eden, which were in Telassar? Where is the king of Hamath and the king of Arphad and the king of Sepharvaim, Hena and Eva? And Hezekiah received the letter from the hand of the messengers and read it. And Hezekiah went up into the house of the Lord and spread it before the Lord. And Hezekiah prayed unto the Lord, saying, O Lord of hosts, God of Israel, that dwelleth between the cherubims, thou art God, even thou alone of all the kingdoms of the earth. Thou hast made heaven and earth. Incline thine ear, O Lord, and hear. Open thine eyes, O Lord, and see, and hear the words of Sennacherib, which he has sent to reproach the living God. Of a truth, Lord, the kings of Assyria have laid waste of all the nations and their countries, and have cast their gods into fire, for they were no gods, but the work of men's hand, wood and stone. Therefore they have destroyed them. Now therefore, O Lord our God, save us from his hand, for all the kingdoms of the earth may know that thou art the Lord, even thou only. Then Isaiah the son of Amos sent to Hezekiah, saying, thus saith the Lord God of Israel, whereas thou hast prayed to me against Sennacherib, king of Assyria, this is the word of the Lord which hath spoken concerning him. The virgin, the daughter of Zion, hath despised thee and laughed thee to scorn. The daughter of Jerusalem hath shaken her head at thee. Whom hast thou reproached and blasphemed? Against whom hast thou exalted thy voice and lifted up thine eyes on high? Even against the Holy One of Israel. Verse 24, by thy servants thou hast reproached the Lord, and hast said, by the multitude of my chariots I might come up to the height of the mountains, to the sides of Lebanon, and I will cut down the tall cedars thereof, and the choice fir trees thereof, and I will enter into the height of his border, into the forest of his Carmel. I have digged and drunk water, and with the sole of my feet have I dried up all the rivers of the besieged places. Hast thou not heard long ago? Have I not done it of ancient times that I have formed it? Now I have brought it to pass, and thou shouldest be laid waste to fenced cities and to ruinous heaps. Therefore their inhabitants were a small power. They were dismayed and confounded. They were as the grass of the field and the green herb and the grass of the housetops, and as corn blasted before it is grown up. But I know thy abode and thy going out and thy coming in, and thy rage against me, because I rage against me, and thy tumult has come up into my ears. Therefore will I put my hook in thy nose and my bridle in thy lips, and I will turn thee back by the way which thou camest. And this shall be a sign to thee. Ye shall eat this year such as groweth of itself, in the second year which springeth of the same. And the third year sow ye and reap and plant vineyards and eat the fruit thereof. And the remnant that is escaped of the house of Judah shall again take root downward and bear fruit upward. For out of Jerusalem shall go forth a remnant, and they that escape out of Mount Zion. The zeal of the Lord of hosts shall do this. Verse 33, therefore thus saith the Lord concerning the king of Assyria, he shall not come into this city, nor shoot an arrow there, nor come before it with shields, nor cast a bank against it. By the way he came, by the same way shall he return, and shall not come to this city, saith the Lord. For I will defend this city to save it for my own sake and for my servant David's sake. Then the angel of the Lord went forth and smote in the camp of the Assyrians 185,000. And when they rose in the morning, behold, they were all dead corpses. So Sennacherib, king of Assyria, departed and went and returned and dwelt at Nineveh. And it came to pass, as he worshipped in the house of Nisroch, his god, that Adramelech and Sharezer, his son, smote him with the sword. And they escaped into the land of Armenia. And Esarhaddon, his son, reigned in his stead. Isaiah chapter 38, verse 1. And in those days was Hezekiah sick unto death. And Isaiah the prophet, the son of Amos, came unto him and said unto him, thus saith the Lord, set thine house in order, for thou shalt die and not live. Then Hezekiah turned his face toward the wall and prayed unto the Lord and said, remember now, O Lord, I beseech thee, how I have walked before thee in truth and with a perfect heart, and have done that which is good in thy sight. And Hezekiah wept sore. Then came the word of the Lord to Isaiah, saying, go and say to Hezekiah, thus saith the Lord, the God of David thy father, I have heard thy prayer, and I have seen thy tears, and behold, I will add unto thy days 15 years, and I will deliver thee in this city out of the land of the king of Assyria, and I will defend this city. And there shall be a sign unto thee from the Lord. The Lord will do this thing that he has spoken. Behold, I will bring again the shadow of the degrees which is gone down in the sundial of Ahaz 10 degrees backward. So the sun returned 10 degrees, by which degrees it was gone down. The writing of Hezekiah, king of Judah, when he had been sick and was recovered of his sickness. I said, in the cutting off of my days, I shall go down to the gates of the grave. I'm deprived of the residue of my years. Verse 11, I said, I shall not see the Lord, even the Lord in the land of the living. I shall behold no man no more with the inhabitants of the world. Mine age is departed, and is removed from me as a shepherd's tent. I will have cut off like a weaver my light. He will cut me off with pinning sickness from day even to night. night will thou make an end of me. I reckon till morning as a lion, so he will break all my bones. From day even to night wilt thou make an end of me. Like a crane or a swallow, so I did chatter. I did mourn like as a dove. Mine eyes fail with looking upward. O Lord, I am oppressed, and undertake for me. What shall I say? He hath both spoken unto me, and himself hath done it. I go softly all my years in the bitterness of my soul. O Lord, by these things men live, and in these things is the life of my spirit. So wilt thou recover me and make me to live? Behold, for peace I had great bitterness, but thou hast in love to my soul delivered it from the pit of corruption. For thou hast cast all my sins behind thy back. For the grave cannot praise thee, death cannot celebrate thee. They that go down to the pit cannot hope for thy truth. Verse 19. The living, he shall praise thee as I do this day. The father to the children shall make known thy truth. The Lord was ready to save me. Therefore will we sing my songs to the string instruments all the days of our life in the house of the Lord. For Isaiah had said, let them take a lump of figs and lay it for a plaster upon the boil, and he shall recover. Hezekiah also had said, what is the sign that I shall go up to the house of the Lord?